Hi there, I'm Construction Gamer and this is the Midlands to London on Transport Fever 2. In today's episode I thought we'd try and build Reading Station. We've done 2 stations in the Midlands now, we've done a lot of stations in London. I thought we could actually do Reading and that would almost be pretty much the Great Western Main Line finished. I have already built Slough Station because it's not the most interesting station. No offence to anybody who lives in Slough, but it's not the most fancier stations, whereas Reading is a little bit more of a challenge, and I'm thinking this could actually look quite good once finished. In the last episode we built Birmingham Moor Street, which was a little bit of a challenge, just to say the least, but I think we've done it. Well, it's okay. We haven't got a front on it, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I think given the constraints of the terrain and what's going on, I think it's about as best as we can do. I've done some work, so I've downloaded some brick stuff and some tiles like this just to try and create some steps. Now, I'm not sure what the actual people are going to make of this, if they're going to be glitching through the steps or not. I'm imagining they will be, but I think it just looks a little bit better. I know in reality the steps aren't this steep, or there aren't that many rows of steps in real life, but I think it's about as much as we could kind of get away with the terrain. Obviously we've got to get that bridge in, and there's a tunnel. We've still got a bit of glitching with the track or the platform recall. So the platform props are stored as far as I can tell, underneath or wherever they can be stored until they're required, until they're needed to be drawn. So that is just something we're going to have to live with. It's a little bit frustrating. I don't think there's anything we can do to rectify that other than getting rid of that platform, but I think we've got rid of the canopy, which is already kind of a little bit of a, takes away from it a little bit. So yeah, I think I might revisit this at some stage, but I think for now it's in there, and yeah, we can start thinking about the future. And obviously got to build Snow Hill Tunnel and then out to Snow Hill Station, and then once I build Snow Hill Station itself, then I'm going to replace Birmingham, the city itself, and just let it grow and develop and do whatever it wants. So that's all in there. Now we're going to head back down to the south of the map. So I've done quite a little bit off camera because I'm conscious that this is going to be a massive series and it is going to take lots and lots of episodes, but I do want to kind of move things along. So I've built from what will be it is now Old Oak Common, but it's more of a depot, isn't it? You've got the Crossrail depot and you have other sidings, but that will be Old Oak Common Station. And then I've built the track out to Slough. I built Slough Station. I think it's a little bit bigger. I wasn't sure if any Great Western Main Line services stopped at Slough, so I've just made sure it's 260 metres long, just in case. And I've started trying to experiment with gantries, but I'm not having much success because they don't work on curves as far as I can tell. They have to be on perfectly straight track, which isn't possible on some of the sections. So I'm playing around with them anyway, just to have a look. The thing is, you can stop the gantry from snapping to the track, but you can't stop the signal from snapping to where it needs to be, because it needs to fit perfectly within its slot. So I might try and use gantries. You can see there it's tiny little bit off center. This one here, this far right hand gantry, I used the C to stop it snapping and then try to position it manually. You can just see a little bit there. I might play around with gantries because they do look really cool. But yeah, there's Slough Station. Then we're going to head off towards Reading, and I've got a station out here as well, so I'm not going to have trains turning back at Reading. I'm going to have them coming out the back like I have in previous series to a 10 station, which is Cardiff, which is just a return point for the Great Western Main Line services and maybe any local services that need to call there. So first of all, we're going to build ourselves a nice big station. I know we're in 1998, but I am going to build it as if we are in modern times, so it is going to it's going to look like it looks now, basically. It's just easier more than anything. So we want a 240 meter long station they are, and we're just going to put that in there as the game tries to build a road. Of course it does. Right, actually, before we go any further, somebody did ask I'm going to build Waterloo, and I'm not. I think is the answer to that. I was looking at it and I was thinking, no, it's just a massive station. It's across the river as well, isn't it? So obviously there's not much space here, but I didn't realise that South Western Railway services call it Reading. So I think I might build some track just so we can have some South Western Railway, South West trains calling it Reading. And obviously Basingstoke as well has South West trains, South West Railway routes as well. So there will be some track. I think I might just put a station around here and call it Waterloo, but obviously it won't represent anything like what Waterloo is. But yeah, I think probably is best to have some sort of services just so it looks accurate more than anything. Obviously we want to get rid of these tracks because we are although I'm building the modern station, so I'm building how it looks today, I'm not going to be electrifying it just yet. We'll try and keep that period correct. It's just because I don't really want to have to come back in later on and rebuild stations, because it's not the, it's a good system, but it's not the best for if you want to come in later on. I suppose I could demolish the whole station, couldn't I? And then rebuild it again. And we're going to be using the King's Cross new modules for this because of that roof that comes with it. I think that is the closest to Reading than anything. So get rid of these old platforms like so. And I think actually I'm going to get rid of, what am I going to do? Right, let's just start with the easy things first. So obviously I'm not going to have all the tracks as well, because that would be enormous. I think it's got like 10 or 12 platforms, and it just would look out of scale with the rest of the station. So we're gonna try and recreate it faithfully, but it's not going to have all of the platforms that it's got in real life, because it would be enormous as it is in real life. So chuck some platforms down there. So we're going to have 4 Great Western platforms. So we'll put those in first. They're the easy bits. Oh no, we're going to have 6 Great Western platforms, actually, looking at my snazzy, accurate drawing that I usually do. So we'll end up, so it's still got to be an enormous station, even if we're not putting every single platform in. So we've got, yeah, we'll ignore those far southern platforms for now. Just going to get basically the core tracks in, and then obviously new again, and then another 2 sets of platforms. Like so, and then I think what I'll do is I'll just quickly delete all of these, and then actually if I got, just going into props, just deleted those assets, just because I'm thinking these are going to have class 450s, aren't they, if they're Southwest trains. So we need something that's going to house a 4-car class 450. So get rid of that, and then can we get rid of, so it's going to have to be that segment there. No, actually, no, ignore me altogether, because this thing here actually protrudes. So we've got, this actually comes right out. It's like, yeah, it's weird. So how many segments do we, I think we need at least 3 segments for a 4-car class 450. So we're not going to have any, well, I don't know if any bigger ones, 8-car, 12-car come here, but yeah, we're gonna stick with 4-car, and then we're going to go back to our platforms, and then we've got 2 here. Put the tracks in, so another 2 tracks. So this is an enormous station, even without being fully accurate to scale. And then another one there, and actually no 1 2 3, so we'll have 2 there. We can actually get rid of these ones here, like so, and then we can get rid of these as well. Can we? Maybe if we make this a little bit longer, actually. And then what do we want? We want some tracks, don't we? So these are the 3 bay platforms for the Southwest Trains services. And then we've got another bay platform here, which I guess is for local Great Western services. And then King's Cross. And then we want a massive, well, we will just end up with a huge concourse just because of the way things have worked out. And then we need, can't put any, ooh, damn, right. Let's just see, first of all, it'll let me put a passenger building on, so that's good. I would have liked a little bit more platform. Actually, no, what am I doing? Right, this is going to have to be demolished. That's really frustrating, that little, I don't think it's a glitch, I just think it's, not sure what it is. I should have put this far section here, should have been, well no actually, this whole bit here. I think we're just going to demolish the station and start again. And yeah, I think that's probably the best solution. Bye bye. That's annoying. Right, let's try that again one more time. So we'll chuck the station here, and then what we'll do is we'll configure this, and what I'll do instead of building the entire station and then realising I can't build anymore, we'll just put in a load of track sections and see how far it let us go. Let's try from this end as well. It seems to be giving us, yeah, it's weird, it let you build like out in one direction and then stop in another. So that's our footprint, that's as big as we're going to get it. So that needs to be a King's Cross platform, like so. And then that's a track, they're platforms, 2 tracks, 2 platforms, 2 tracks, 2 platforms, and then 2 platforms again. And then before I go any further, actually, we'll just see, can I put a passenger building? It doesn't have to be big, just a modest passenger building on the end there, which it has done, which is good. And then I can just get rid of these modules that I've put in. Good, so back to the platforms, and what I've done there is I've deleted all the modules for the platforms, doesn't I? So I don't know how long the station needs to be. Let's say that's 3, 5. Go out of this, put a building in, so it needs one more module to be a 240 metre long station, which is what we need for our mainline services. So far so good. Tracks. So we've got these through here. Let's just chuck all these in quickly. And then we want to go in with the platforms, obviously, just to finish that off. And I haven't built the entire track that we need, never mind. Right, I've put an old segment in there as well, haven't I? Get rid of those. Back to King's Cross now. Right, so what we need to do is so we've got these 6 tracks here, and then, why have I keep putting old segments in? Bye-bye, right. So we need these tracks down here, platforms rather, and definitely not tracks, and then we'll have that another, did I say, and then we'll have 2 on the end. Yeah, I think that makes it look alright. And then we'll have these down here, so we might be able to fit in, I don't think we're going to need them anyway, but we might be able to fit in 8 car class 450s, and I hope they are 450s. And then I've done that, yeah, that's fine. Is it? No, it's not fine at all, is it? I need to, what do I need to do there? They're like short platforms by the looks of it. So yeah, I think I need to do that, do I? I think. And then back to the platform, so there's no platform there. There is some track, according to my drawing anyway. And then we want our King's Cross platforms here, and then we want, yeah, another 2, and then a piece of track along here. I'm not sure, I think what will be class 160 or something like that will be stopping here. And I've put on the old ones again. Yeah, it's because it keeps defaulting to the old platforms and I'm not clicking on the right thing, am I? So that's all good. And then we're going to have these big old steps. Oh, these are facing the wrong way as well, and that's annoying. Yeah, they would be. I'm pretty sure the steps and the escalators face east, but not to worry. And it's not the end of the world, I don't think. We'll have 2 sets. Anyway, it just makes it look a lot grander, doesn't it? Yeah. And then we want a passenger building, so we want a little old one, I think, because there is like an older looking building by the looks of it that they've kept. So we'll have a little old building there, and then we'll have a big brand new building alongside. Is there like a little baby one? Yeah, I think that works. And then we want to go to King's Cross, put in some ticket machines. We'll put some maybe along there, some benches. That'll do, and then we'll have the roof. This is the bit which actually looks quite convincing. So if you use the new roof, we end up with this big bulge, which looks quite reminiscent of how Reading Station is. And then we're going to cover this whole concourse in just a flat roof, and then we want just finish the concourse off. Yeah, I'm not too unhappy with that actually. That looks pretty good. I think that roof kind of sets it off, makes it look like Reading. So yeah, I think I will take that. That's not too bad at all. The next tricky bit is we're only going to think in this episode do the eastern approach. We're not going to get the western approach done. I don't think we'll get all of the eastern approach done either, but we'll see how much we can get done in this episode, because we're going to want, so I think what I'll do is I'll just run out 4 tracks. So actually, I'm not sure, we're going to electrified as well, aren't we? I'm not sure what they would have been. I'm guessing the equivalent today is the up, down, fast and slow, and then the up, down, fast here on the left, and then the up, down, slow, which is now kind of basically been consumed by Crossrail, hasn't it? So these are now like Elizabeth line tracks, whereas I guess in the past they would have been up, down, slows, I'm guessing. That's my guess anyway. So these are the up, down, slows that we're putting in. And obviously we've got like turn back facilities for the Crossrail services and whatnot. So I think this actual junction is probably going to be a little bit more elongated than it is in real life. So first of all, we want let's put a road in. So I think we'll go, I'm not sure what it'd be actually. Let's just 1, 2, 3, and then 4 little bits. I think it generates beach by looks of it, and that's not going to be deep enough. So if we go to terrain and then brush size, no, we don't need it that big. Just flatten it off, I think. Just gives us a nice starting point. So then we go with our road, so 2, 3, 4, and then 4 little bits, maybe 5. See what that does. That generates a bridge. Good. What should we use? I think grey girder bridge. Have I built this a bit too close to those platforms? I think I have. I need to build it a bit further away. Yeah, this is going to be stretched out, this junction, just to get everything in accurately in. And with the likes of the roads, 2, 3, 4, I'd like to get the roads in. You know, if it's an underbridge, then I want to make it an underbridge. If there's an overbridge, I want to make an overbridge, and that type of thing, just so it is, you know, a little bit accurate. So let's try that with grey girder bridge, like so. It is a solid bridge, I think, right across, or is there a gap? Let's just have a look. Actually, looking at it, that road that I'm trying to build is actually under the Waterloo South Western Trains platform, so I think in this instance, let's just go like that, and only one more. We're just going to have to be in a tunnel, and then I'll just build the portals just so I can see. That's really deep, isn't it? Can I go any shallower than that? Would be nice if that was a bridge, but it's not possible, is it? And then I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just try and make this tunnel as shallow as possible. And obviously we're going to have a beach effect, but not to worry, as long as I remember not to try and do any terrain modification. And we need this tunnel to be a little bit longer, so make sure we keep that. No, it needs to be on the flat, like so. So yeah, that is going to have to be a tunnel, but I would like the tunnel entrance. So if we get rid of that little bit there, and then what we might do is we can't push the terrain down because we're going to end up with some water. Not sure what we're going to do with that, but at least the tunnel will be there, or the road, bridge, whatever will be there. It will be represented, so we can get rid of this, and then just put these tracks back in alongside, and then just get these connected up somehow. He says maybe we have these 4 tracks here as the main Great Western Main Line. I think they probably will be, won't they? So these ones here, like so, and then these ones here, like so, and then that gives us a starting point, I think. Now, I'm really wishing I'd built that on a little bit of a hill like I'd done with the other ones, but not to worry. What we need to do now is get these tracks, so this one here, joined up. Have I built that in the right place? Apparently so. Right, so get rid of these. Single track coming off here, separating away from the Great Western Main Line, and then 2 tracks, and then something like that, and then a switch in here, crossover. So far so good. Right, the next bit is we're going to have to try, so let's see how much of how tight the fan can be. So that is starting to fan out there, that's all right. Now has it got crossover? No, I haven't built these tracks correctly, I don't think. Yeah, obviously I haven't been building like super duper 100% accurate, but I do try and be as accurate as I can. So I think we need to build a little bit of straight track there, and then this comes in to the up down slows, I'm going to call them for now. And then there's a diamond crossing here apparently, which I hope it's going to let me build. Yes, good. And then another switch off to there, and then these kind of Great Western, so get rid of this, have it come into about there, and then that goes into those platforms, and then it starts to fan out from about here, I think, or from about here. Yeah, I think that works. That'll do. And then this track, so in 2 switches here, so instead of a diamond crossing we've got like a more modern approach, which is the 2 switch system. Good, yeah. So that was the easy bit. The next bit I think I'm probably putting off, isn't it, is trying to put in a grade separated junction. Now I don't think, actually, looking at it, this junction it's probably for more rolling stock movements than it is for passenger trains. I might be wrong. If I am, do tell me, but I think this grade separated junction isn't entirely necessary, but we will build it anyway, because like with the West Coast Main Line, I did do that. I missed off that grade separated junction, didn't I? And I kind of regretted it in the end because it actually was needed. So I will build this just in case. But what I will do is, what's often more beneficial is if you raise, so you're simultaneously lowering the track, obviously, but you want to start trying to raise the other track as well, which does give you a little bit of a roller coaster effect at times, but I think just to try and get the grade separated here, there's a little bit of a dump. Maybe if we get rid of these bits of track, then put those back. 108, yeah, that should be fine. There's no, I think pretty much every service stops at Reading, doesn't it? Every Great Western service stops at Reading, so it doesn't matter that they'll be slowing down. Just want to make that look a little bit less roller coastery if I can, and then see if I can get underneath here. Can I? Just little grade separated junction. Maybe that was too, no, that looks about right, so let's start raising that back up. Stretch that out. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be in a tunnel or it's probably a bridge actually, isn't it? Should I do that? Don't know. Just kind of, no, I think I'll leave it actually, and then we'll just extend the Great Western, not the Great Western, the Waterloo tracks out a little bit. Actually, we'll give them a little bit more room, a little bit more wiggle room for the grade separated junction. And then if I just get rid of a little bit of that, where's that little bit? That's coming up as aggressively as possible anyway. Collision, oh damn, right. Tiny little bit more tunnel then. Right, maybe we'll just have to redo that tunnel to about there. Is that going to clear? That looks like it clears. And then coming up, oh, that's nice. Is it ugly though? Yes, that's not acceptable. It's not up to my new standard. And then just extend these out a little bit straight for now. Put a switch in, and then another switch, and then can I just do that? And does it look alright? No, it looks hideous, unacceptable. Right, so we'll just chuck that on there, make sure it's nice and flat. Where's that snapping point? It's there, good. Up to there, and then just two sets of tracks that come into one. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what this is for either, because as far as I can tell, there's no other switches in this particular section, well, I suppose, yeah, there's those switches there, isn't there? So I'm guessing this just allows South West train services to use these platforms, possibly, don't know. Again, it could be just an operational type thing that it needs, and then this can go off somewhere. It's quite a tight curve, I think. And then we got a lot of switchiness going on here. So these switches actually, as far as I can tell on the open rail map, are accurate. So this is actually being, for once, correctly switched and junctioned. Don't think that's the right word, but you know what I mean. And another one here, and then another one just there. So that's got all the correct switches in place, which allows the trains to basically go from one far side to the other far side, and then we've got that in there. I'm guessing this should possibly then, this far track here is a bi-directional track, isn't it? It probably have to be for this junction to work. But yeah, I'm not actually unhappy with how that's looking for once. I think that was, compared to last week's, or the last 2 weeks builds, that was actually quite straightforward, wasn't it? Quite painless. I think the Western approach, which I probably will build off on camera, is probably going to be a lot more complicated, because it's got, again, I'm building it as it is today, not how it was in 1998, so it has since been grade separated, hasn't it? So there's a lot going on around here. But what I will do is, I think for now, I'll just have services terminating at starting at Reading, and that way it just allows us to basically put a train on, so we can see trains going up and down the network, which is what we want to see, don't we? I've done a lot of station building, which I guess is a lot of prep, but I would at this stage, 10 episodes in, 11 episodes in, I would like to start to see trains whizzing about the network. I'm not sure, don't think there are any significant tunnels between Reading and Slough, so we'll just have a gouge for now. Obviously I'll sort that out as per usual, but we do have, a nice big part of the network in. So we've got like Paddington, well, we have got Paddington to Reading in, and obviously we need Basingstoke, we need all the junctions around here and stuff. So we haven't quite done the Great Western Main Line properly, but definitely getting there, and it definitely allows us to put on lots more shiny trains. So that's all looking good. I'm relatively pleased with that. So I'm going to leave it there for today and say until next time, bye bye.